move on, please.
Yeah,
Shirley, we love you. This kind of ties perfect into what Bob wanted to talk about too. Bob, you want to talk about the state of game reviews in the industry at the moment?
Yeah. So, as I was streaming the second half of Maneater over the weekend, I made the stupid decision of going onto YouTube, watching a few of the like big name gaming conglomerates reviews for Maneater and reading a couple of them. And it like really hit a nerve in me when I was watching them and reading them, because they consistently hit the same notes that I feel like don't correctly represent a game like Maneater. So if you were watching me this weekend when I was playing it, Inferno was in. I don't think he's in chat right now, but he was watching me, and he was making a bunch of these clips while I was live. And I gotta go back and see if one's still there. But I'm not going to name the sites because fuck them. They don't deserve
no free ads.
Yeah, they don't fucking deserve it. But they hit the same notes of like, they compare it to other games that are similar to it. You know what I'm saying? That they take similar aspects from, but they hold it like it's a direct comparison to it. When you should be playing a game for what it is. When you're playing Maneater is an RPG, semi-open world RPG that you play as a fucking shark. That's it. Okay? Yeah. You don't need to go into the fucking lore behind it. You don't need to do a deep dive into, oh, what were the developers thinking when they designed this aspect of the shark, or the AI behind this fish in the ocean. You don't need to fucking think
it's a fucking video game, bro. You're fine.
You should be playing the game, going into it thinking like, how can I enjoy this game right now? Am I going to enjoy this game? And I said it on stream, and I've said it a dozen times on the podcast before, but when I'm reviewing a game, I'm not going to waste my time reviewing a game I don't see myself enjoying. It's that simple. I'm not going to waste my time is precious to me. I'm not going to waste my fucking time playing a game I think I'm going to have a bad time with, just so I have to go spend another hour and a half writing a shitty review about it, pointing out all of the things I didn't enjoy from it. I'm not going to do that. I want to play games that I enjoy playing because I have limited time as it is, and I want to, make the best of it. The problem I see with big companies right now is they have all the time in the world, so they'll play anything, and they have no reservations going into it of like, oh, I'm just going to play this to enjoy it. They go into it thinking, I'm going to go into this and see everything I can pick apart from it. And it hit a nerve in me, and it really upset me, and it pissed me off, because they were saying like, oh, it's an open world game, but the combat's lacking. What the fuck do you mean the combat's lacking? You play as a shark.
Yeah, there's only so much they can do.
There's no combat. Yeah, combat implies that there's two participants in it. There's no fucking combat. You're murdering people.
There is combat in it. You fight against like boats and hunters and other apex predators. But like the notion that they're comparing it to games like GTA, and I compare it. I called it. You can quote this again. It's already been clipped and put on Twitter. It's Maneater is Banjo-Kazooie meets Sunset Overdrive. It's a collectathon game where every area you go into, there's 100 things that you could collect, pick up. You get to use all the experience you gain from getting those collectibles into upgrades. And then it's Sunset Overdrive because it's visually appealing, and the movement mechanics and the combat's more like a melee version of Sunset Overdrive. But the comparison comes where people are like, oh, maybe it is like Sunset Overdrive, but the combat's just not as well tuned. In Sunset Overdrive, you have 16 fucking guns you can rotate through while you're moving around a map. You're playing as a fucking shark. You have teeth and you have a tail.
That's it.
Okay?
That's it.
You have teeth and you have a tail. Stop fucking complaining that it's not this game that you're comparing it to. Look at the game that you're playing and review it based on what you're playing. Okay? I'm sick of it. And
yeah.
When I review a game, I look at inspirations and connections to other games. Banjo-Kazooie, it's similar to Banjo-Kazooie because it's a collectathon. It's similar to Sunset Overdrive because it's visually appealing, and the movement mechanics reminds me of Sunset Overdrive. Those are the two good points that I take from those. But then I don't fucking put it under a microscope and compare every other portion of Maneater to every other portion of Banjo-Kazooie and every other portion of Sunset Overdrive. It is its own unique identity. And I'm sick of fucking reviewers just tearing apart games like this.
I agree 100%. Obviously, I haven't played the game yet, but I can only imagine. It's the type of people that we are in this day and age, I guess. It's the same reason why when you go on Yelp, you only see negative reviews. You barely see any good reviews. The first person that's going to review something is a person that had a terrible time with it or a bad experience. And those are the people that write the reviews. So, I mean, as shitty as it is, people don't go in with an empty mindset where, hey, I think I might enjoy this game. I'm just going to go in and play it. They go in like, okay, I have to look at every little fucking part and critique it as much as possible.
Yep. And
I think reviews should be illegal. I think people should just ban reviews. If you post a review on something, you should face time in jail because
I mean, I do a lot of our reviews.
Well, you should go to jail, but
okay.
No, not like that, but like that going forward. The law hasn't passed yet. I haven't brought it to Senate yet, but they should be illegal. And the reason for it is you should buy from your own discretion and not because someone else told you to buy something or someone else told you not to buy something. Reviews are subjective. Your feelings towards a game is subjective. It doesn't matter what the person next to you think of it. You might actually enjoy it. If the person next to you doesn't like eating dog shit, who's to say that you don't fucking love the taste? You got to try it to know it. You got to feel the fire to know that it's hot. It's how it goes. As for the people that post shitty reviews about stuff and that, like, I don't like that, obviously, because you're not giving the game the time of day.
There is a place for it. Though.
Yes, there is.
That's the thing.
But
there are plenty of shitty games out there, and there's a place for reviews for shitty games. You know what I'm saying? There's a place for it. But when the problem with those videos that I watched is they were praising it the whole time. You know, like, oh, it's so unique, it's so interesting, it's such a nice way to like turn your brain off and go through it. When in reality, I turned my brain off and I played through it. Everybody else that reviewed it fucking put it under a microscope. And they praise it, and then at the end, they're like, oh, well, here's XYZ, all these things wrong with it. So now I have to dock your points in my review.
Oh, go
Why?
fuck
you
yourself,
enjoyed
pal.
Did you enjoy the game? Like, again, yeah, I'm fucking mad.
No,
I'm mad.
If there's nothing broken within the game, like if there's something you didn't enjoy in the game, tough shit. Like, you're not going to please everyone. You're one of the people that did not get pleased from whatever just happened of what the mechanic in the game is. So be it. Like, you could start it off with all the good stuff like that, but like, it's all about how you get it. Like, critique without any kind of substance to it is useless. Like, you can critique it and be like, hey, I didn't like this for this reason. I feel like if they did this, it would have been a little bit better. So the developers with these big name companies, right, they can go through them, read it, and they can take it in stride and maybe use it for their next game if they talk amongst themselves and they realize, like, hey, we could have done that better. But just saying something sucks without giving any sort of substance to how they could better it, it's just useless and there's no part of it. You know, Dom, what do you think about it?
I mean, you guys have covered most of it. I fucking hate reading reviews. I hate reading reviews. I hate reading reviews. We have talked about this time and time again on the podcast. I believe that you should just watch somebody play it on Twitch. If you don't want to spend $60 on a game, watch somebody play it. You have the courtesy where I could call Chris in middle school and say, hey, Chris, did you get that new game yet? Is that any good? Like, can I come over and see? And like, maybe we can play it and like just fuck around for a little bit. And like, if you die, I'll try it. And then if I die, you get the controller again. You can do that with anybody in the world right now. Right here on Twitch. Twitch, you can pay us if you want. But like, you can do that on the internet. You can do it on Twitter. You can do it on Twitch. You can do it on YouTube. You can do it on Mixer. You can do it wherever the fuck you want. You can literally watch anybody anywhere in the world play any game. Probably any game. Probably any game. There's probably somebody playing any game. And if not, wait 15 minutes. Somebody will come online and start playing it. I think that the majority of reviews are bullshit. I actually really, you know whose reviews I really like is Game Informer. Shout out to Brian Shea, friend of the program, friend in real life, from Game Informer. I actually really like Game Informer's reviews. I feel like they have always been, for me, I feel like on average they tend to trend a little higher score-wise. I wouldn't say that they're like softer on games, but I think they're a lot more reasonable, and they're not just giving games scores just to give them. They also add a lot more context and a lot more insight into what makes the game what it is. And so, like, if you're reading it and you don't just like looking at scores, then you would actually learn a little, like a thing or two about the game. It's actually like thoughtful journalism, which is not something that you see in 99% of games media in 2020. So
You could
what I
throw
would
Wiki,
do,
you could throw Wicked Gaming in that umbrella.
Yeah, because we're not fucking
yeah.
robots.
yeah, exactly.
Be a person.
Exactly. So what I would do, and we've recommended this a billion times, is I would find a person or an outlet who you identify with. Maybe that's us, maybe not, but give us a try. WGG.com. Find somebody whose opinions you align with. They like the games that you like. If you're a weeb, you might want to listen to Bob's reviews. Like,
weeb.
Hey.
if just to throw an example out there at random. Like,
That was a bad example, I think.
That was a spot on example.
I am not gonna read Roger Ebert's review of Avengers Endgame. I'm not gonna read.
True.
Because you know why? Because it's probably not what he would consider a cinematic masterpiece. Also, I probably haven't heard of some of his favorite movies. I'm not a film buff. I'm not like a film critic. There are some, like, I like Red Letter Media a lot because they hate everything. They also hate Star Wars, and I fucking love Star Wars. Do I still watch their reviews? Yes, because I know that they're going to hate on it and it's going to be funny. But I also don't. I take all of that with a truckload of salt, because it's not like the way I know that's not how I'm going to feel about the movie. So find somebody you align with, whether that's a streamer, a reviewer, a journalist, whoever, and run with them. If they review the game, great. If not, tweet at them or something, and you could say, "Hey, Bob, did you play this Full Metal Alchemist game?"
Come on, dude. Come on.
And Bob will say, "Yes, I've played that because I'm a weeb. Because I'm a weeb, and this is what I thought of it." And what games we like. You probably can't ask Chris about anything aside from Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, and Bully, and that's fine.
Right,
but when those
know your lane, baby. Know your lane.
Check.
Know your lane.
Check.
Bing, bang, boom.
Know your lane.
And but when those games come out, you best believe that he can give you the best perspective possible, because he's bought every single one of them, and he can be like, well, compared to the last 90 Call of Duties that I purchased, this one isn't up to snuff, and here's why. Or hey, this new Grand Theft Auto's fine. GTA 5 set this bar, and it didn't really quite reach it, and here's why. That's